Welcome to the Galapagos Islands. I've got an iguana over there, sea lions over there, and I'm about to go swim through the mangroves in this crystal blue water right there.
Fresh from the snow-covered mountains of Ecuador, it was time to head to the Galapagos Islands, remote islands in the Pacific. So you land at Santa Cruz. Now, I'm not even going to make a video about Santa Cruz because, if I'm honest, it was a huge disappointment. Over-commercialized and very expensive. So we jumped on a boat after a couple of days once we realized this and headed over to Isabela Island. It's about 4 hours away, and when they say it's a ferry, it's not really a ferry. It's a speedboat that has been turned into a ferry, so it's a pretty rough ride. But we saw some amazing things on the way out, like the Greenpeace boats that are there to monitor any pollution and how people are looking after this incredible environment. So the first thing you notice when you arrive on Isabela Island is how remote it is and how underdeveloped, which is exactly what we wanted to see. What you're seeing at the moment is just some clips of what we got up to every morning. We wandered down to the little cove where you would just find the sea lions and the iguanas warming up in the morning sun. You can see behind me there the volcanic sand and rock that's been pummeled down as these islands have grown over millennia. But it was just incredible. You get up close and personal with the wildlife, and it really isn't bothered by you or anybody else. Look, you can see there's a truck in the background. This is taken on the beach right by the port. Just an iguana and 10, 20, 30 sea lions. They snore like absolute monsters. But it was like being in a David Attenborough documentary. I cannot explain to you how excited I was this whole time. So what you're going to see in this video is a little bit of the history here, some of the incredible scenery, and of course the most exciting bits of all, the wildlife. Ever since I was a little kid watching David Attenborough, I have wanted to see sea turtles and giant tortoises, and I got to see them all. This was a bucket list trip for me.
This place is just stunning. Absolutely crystal blue water behind me, and I am looking at about 20 sea lions that are just sleeping, snoring, and just having a right old giggle. I've already been for a snorkel this morning and been for a swim with them, but here's some of what else I've been up to. I am on my way to Muro de las Lágrimas, the Wall of Tears, which it's a huge wall basically built by prisoners here by, I think, the US, when the US had a military base on the islands. Now, the prisoners were taken up there if they'd done something wrong and were just made to build a wall. Very Shawshank. And I think it's one of those really interesting places where you look back and you understand that somewhere as beautiful as this can actually be the home of some really horrific crimes. And humanity, I mean, honestly, the more I travel, the more I realise humanity is a really bad species. There are some great bits of us, but this is awful. So here we've got iguana crossing, please drive slowly. And look behind me here, look, volcanic rock that's all been, as the volcano erupted and it's got down to the sea and has then cooled down. So the lava flows used to go underneath it, and you can see some of the caves where that used to happen as well. This place is unbelievable. Look at that water. Oh, and there's a seal, or sea lion. I want to see a turtle. I'm going swimming with turtles tomorrow.
So I stumbled across a school trip, a local school trip. So this is a school on the island, and they were doing a geography field study where they were out learning more about the unique ecosystem here on Isabela Island. And it was phenomenal to see the kids getting so involved. There were also some Westerners there who were part of charities, who were part of the effort to maintain this incredibly unique biodiversity, this ecosystem, everything. But I decided to go for a little trek through the mangroves, which I probably wouldn't recommend to most people because you just don't know what's lurking in there. This system of islands is home to so many unique animals, but also some fairly vicious stuff if you get it wrong. There are a lot of sharks in this water, and as you can see, this is fresh water flowing out through the volcanic springs underground, coming up and into the sea. So where they meet, you end up with the water surging back in, which can be pretty dangerous, but also little sharks and other things. There's also little bitey things that can get you as well, but it was worth it.
I have never seen anything this beautiful in my entire life. You've got the fresh water coming through the mangroves, out across the beach. There are two pelicans into this absolutely crystal clear tropical blue water. Look at this. I've actually probably got to be a little careful of sharks in this water because they swim in really, really shallow water. You get the reef sharks, black tip sharks, and they will absolutely be coming in right now. This is just unbelievable. I'm just going back from the beach now, and as you step into the fresh water, it's really cold. It's coming straight from the underground springs. It moves quite fast actually, so you've got a lot of silt in it, so you can't actually see the bottom, so you don't know how deep it is, but it's going back down. But I can see another tidal surge coming up, so I need to get through it quite quickly, I think. So just climbing through the mangroves now as we try and avoid the tidal surge that's coming up this freshwater stream. Look how fast it's running. Oh, I can see another surge coming, so it's time to go. I was just walking along the road and look what I bumped into. A giant Galapagos land tortoise. These things are over 100 to 150 years old. I can't believe my luck. I feel like I'm in a David Attenborough documentary. This and swimming with turtles is so high up there on my bucket list of things to do. He's just cruising along, eating the poisonous apples. They're poisonous to humans, but not to the tortoises. Hey buddy, how you getting on? Hi. Right, you won't believe what I've just bumped into walking down the path. A giant land tortoise, another one. Hey, how are you doing? This is just, I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park. So this is El Mirador 1, the first viewpoint, and it's a spectacular view right across the island. So I've come from Puerto Villamil, which is right over there. Stunning. Now we've still got a bit to go before we get to Muro de las Lágrimas, and I have no idea, but it's actually quite hard going, and it's very, very hot. So behind me is the infamous Wall of Tears. This was the site of an old penitentiary colony or penal colony, and prisoners, when they did something wrong, were made to come here, and they built this wall for no reason other than as a punishment, and loads of people died here. It's an incredibly sad tale. There are signs here from the Ecuadorian government which explain a lot about it, but as you can see, it's huge, and in the soaring heat that it must have existed here, well, still exists here, but it must have existed here when they would trudge all this way up, bring these stones, cut these stones, and then build this wall just for the sake of punishment. You can understand why there's a lasting memorial that's been left here and why there are plaques all over the place. It's a really, really poignant moment. It's hot, it's really hot, but I'm actually loving it. There is so much oxygen compared to the mountains we were on before. I feel like I'd run a marathon. Might run a marathon. No, I'm not running a marathon. I hate running marathons. Top tip in the heat, make sure you put a pinch of sugar and a pinch of salt in your water bottle before you go. You don't need any fancy electrolytes. Just a pinch of salt, pinch of sugar will hydrate you amazingly well, replace all the lost sodium that you've got from sweating, and replace all the glycogen depletion that you get from running. Bang on, don't spend 50 quid on electrolytes. So we're off snorkeling today. You can see all the boats behind me. Now it is quite loud here because it is a working port. We have the tourist boats and the fishing boats. And what I'm looking at as well is the oyster yacht fleet. So if you've heard of oyster yachts, super luxury yachts, but they have a flotilla that's been long range cruising around the world, and they've just arrived here on Isabella Island as well. But can't wait to get in the water and see what we see today.
So to tell you that I was excited was an understatement, is an understatement. This was everything that I wanted to do in the Galapagos Islands, and this is going out to go and swim with turtles. These are unique turtles to the Galapagos. So you get out on one of these boats, look at the colour of the water behind, it's unreal. Honestly, kid at Christmas. So you fly out, and it's a good couple of hours, and they take you first to this point here, which is where you can see still that the islands are growing. So that is some of the new volcanic rock rock growing out from under the sea. And then you arrive, after roughing it through the breakers, to what's called Los Túneles. These are the old volcanic lava flows and where it's all been eroded by the water, but you just have to look behind. Honest to God, it was I didn't know what to do with myself. This was phenomenal. Like I said, kid at Christmas, I just didn't know what to do. And this was just the start of this incredible day. So we're at Los Túneles, which, as you can see, is huge lava formations, magma formations from thousands and thousands of years ago when the volcanoes were erupting, which they still are, by the way. But you can see these crystal blue pools beneath us. And we've probably seen 10 turtles just swim by. And I can't wait, because we're going to get in and go and swim alongside them as well. This is dream come true stuff. David Attenborough, eat your heart out.
Ready, we're ready. Snorkeling for adventure.
Yeah, we are. Go see some turtles. I will be the first to admit that my underwater camera skills are not the best, but you are about to see some of the most incredible things that I have ever seen. So you dive down under these tunnels, you can see the incredible rock formations there, and it is just tropical paradise. The fish, the sharks, the sea lions, and of course the turtles. This was everything I could have wanted to see. I have never swum with sharks before. There we go. Tick. I was going to get a lot closer to them as well. You'll see that in a minute. But out of the blue just came a turtle. This was the first one that I had seen up close. And I just didn't know what to do. I was so excited, and I am so grateful that there was somebody else who caught this on camera, because I didn't. I just wanted to put my camera down and just enjoy the minute. And I'm so glad I got a chance to, because I will probably never experience this again, and certainly not in this location. But it was just the start, because this is why it's called Turtle Alley. There are turtles absolutely everywhere. You get to see hundreds of them, and dare I say it, too many of them. There were stingrays. Obviously don't get too close to those or you get Steve Irwin. But the fish and the animals that are living around here are just so unique. When the sea lions came in, I'm not going to lie, they're probably more scary than the sharks. And that's because they are absolutely enormous. But they love to play with you. So they will come swimming right up to you. I have so much footage of them, but I just thought it was amazing to show them. And then as I swam under a rock, look what came out. This, I'm not going to lie, I was nearly needed to go back on the boat after that. But I just spent the most phenomenal day swimming around these incredible animals. If you see this one here to the right of the screen, blends in with the rocks and natural defense there, but that is so big and so old. These can be over 100 years old, well over 100 years old. And I just don't think I will ever get to experience something again like this in my lifetime, especially having seen how it's being developed there.
Well, it is my last morning here on Isabella Island, and after some of the misgivings I had about Santa Cruz, which definitely existed, my mind has been completely changed. This place, Isabella, is amazing, and if you're coming to the Galapagos Islands, definitely make sure you spend some time here. You can see the crystal blue waters behind me. You can hear, or maybe even see, all the sea lions just there as I'm having my morning coffee. I've been for a snorkel. I'm going to be really sad to leave this place. It is expensive, it really is expensive. But I found this place to be more manageably expensive than Santa Cruz, because at least I felt like I was getting more. It's less developed, that you can just get in the water, go swimming, go for a hike wherever you want. Not on Santa Cruz, they charge you for everything. I just didn't like Santa Cruz. And you can see behind me, can you see all of the sea lions right there? Oh, these bloody flies. So there's a lot of sort of tropical horseflies that you get here, which get you as soon as you've been in the water. But I can't think of a better place to be having a morning coffee, sitting on the beach here and looking at about 20 to 30 sea lions who are just napping and snoring pretty loudly. Anyway.